What's going on YouTube? It's your boy Justin G, back with another video. We're talking about Ohio State versus Texas. But we're going to talk about the quarterbacks this time because these are the guys who are going to really make the impact the most because they're throwing the ball, making all the decisions, doing everything that's necessary for them to actually win the game. So I'm going to talk about Will Howard first. He's the quarterback of Ohio State. He transferred in there from, I think, if I'm not mistaken, it was Kansas State. I really don't know. I just know he's a quarterback of Ohio State now. So I'm going to talk about what he's done this year at Ohio State. He's from Pennsylvania. He's 6'4", 235 pounds. Big old quarterback. This year he's had 3,490 yards passing, 87.3 QBR, quarterback rating. So a great quarterback rating. He has 32 touchdowns, 9 interceptions. So, I mean, he's had a decent year. I'll tell you let me do the math real quick on my phone real quick to tell you the ratio. He's 32 over 9. So he throws 3.5 touchdowns for 1 interception. So honestly, that's a good little stat line. What I'll say about him is, at the beginning, I wasn't too high on him just because they lost a couple games and he wasn't coming out there with that dog mentality. But in the last couple games, he's been putting his body on the line and trying to get these plays done for his team. Because they're really a run-based team, and they mix in the passing with Jeremiah Smith in them. So, for him to be 6'4", 240 pounds for real, he's rounded up at this point. 6'4", 240 pounds, I mean, you should run the ball. I mean, you should be trying to tuck the ball and go get there. And that's what he's been showing. So, he's really moving up his draft stock as he's playing. Now, honestly, I'm going to tell y'all like this. If he comes in there and plays even decent, they're beating Texas. They're going to whoop him. His last couple years, mind you, he's been playing since 2020 because, they got the COVID year and all that. So I'll just read off his stats as the time progressed to see how he did. So he started off with a 53.6 completion percentage. Wasn't that good. Then he moved up to 54. Then 2022, 59. 2023, 61. And a big spike this year was 72.6 completion percentage. So, and last year also he had 2,000 passing yards. This year is the first year he had 3,000 passing yards. So obviously, as each year progressed, he got better. He legit got better each year. So, my opinion on him is, I would say he's going to be an undrafted free agent in the NFL draft. Maybe a third-day pick. But he's a solid quarterback. He has good decision-making. He's just not how do I explain it? He's not overly good at anything, but he gets the job done. And honestly, that's all you need. Because that's what Tom Brady was. All he did was get the job done, and he won a lot of games doing that. So, he's one of them guys where I feel like he'll come in the game, he can make an impact, he'll be a good pro. He'll be a good backup quarterback in the NFL. And honestly, he's a good guy. I mean, from Pennsylvania, he's used to the cold weather, Ohio State, that's why the weather was no problem for him. He did his thing. So I hope to see him do good in this game. I'm going for Ohio State. The next quarterback I'm going to talk about, somebody I'm very familiar with, being from Texas. His name is Quinn Ewers. He went to South Lake Carroll High School. You know what I'm saying? He did a lot of stuff at South Lake Carroll. He lost the state championship game my senior year. So that's that. He's actually worked out at the high school I went to many of times. He went out there and threw up some receivers out there. I'll read off his stats for y'all. This, mind you, hold on. Let me tell you something about Quinn. Quinn has been hurt half this year. So we're not going to judge him too much because he's been hurt half the year. But I have more to talk about that when I get to it. So this year he's had 3,189 yards, 29 touchdowns, 11 interceptions, and a 76.1 QBR. Now, I meant to tell y'all Will Howard had the second best QBR in the nation. I had to go back. His QBR in the nation, he's number 20. So, I'm going to give y'all the little statistics. So I have to give y'all stats. For every touchdown he throws, he has two and a half touchdowns for 1 interception. So it's not elite numbers, but it's decent. If you're at Texas, though, you got to have better numbers. I mean, that's just my opinion because you're at Texas. But he was hurt, so I'm not going to judge him too much. Now, let me read off his stats to you so you can see how he progressed over time. 2022, the year I graduated, he had a 58 completion percentage, 2,000 yards, had a good little season, a good little introductory season. Then 2023, He had 69 completion percentage, 3,400 yards. That's when he popped off. That's when everybody was saying, hey, he played like this again, first round draft pick next year easily. Then he came out this year, he was playing hurt a little bit. He disappointed a little bit, I ain't gonna cap. He had 66 completion percentage, 3,000 yards. Now, when I say disappointed, it's to the Texas standard because, Texas boy, we want him to do the best. We want him to do what he's supposed to do. We want him to be a first-round draft pick. And this year, he hasn't played the best because of injury. So I would say for him is last game he played pretty good. And he played pretty good versus Arizona State. I mean, a lot of it had to do with play calling, not necessarily him. So I'm not going to judge him off of that. He's 6'2", 210 pounds. Real Texas native. He's a professional. I mean, he knows how to play football. He's been doing this for a long time. I feel like this year, though, wasn't his year. It just wasn't the year for him to really prove that next year, you got to go prove that he was really what he said he is. Because I believe he is. I just think that he needs to take some time, get some healing, recover that ankle, recover the ribs, all that, and be good. Because Texas needs somebody who's mobile. And if your ankle's hurt, you can't run. So that's just the truth of the matter. I think he's a first-round draft pick if he stays one more year and transfers. Now, the reason I'm telling you him to transfer is because there's another quarterback behind him that I think should be playing right now because he isn't hurt. But Quinn Ewers should transfer to North Carolina. I just want this to be clear. I want to put this out there. So, Bill Belichick is in North Carolina. After this season, he should transfer to North Carolina, go play up under the elite Patriots head coach, and go be the first-round draft pick like I know you can be. Because I believe in you. I think that you really should be a first-round draft pick. And if you go in this year, I don't think you're going to be a first-rounder. You're not going to get the guaranteed money. Because you're a first-round type of player, so go make that first-round type of money. You go in this year, you'll probably be like the sixth quarterback off the board. You'll be a day 2 pick. You'll be a day 2 pick, and you deserve to be a day 1, so I say you should transfer. And the dude who you should transfer out of there is because the dude behind him is coming up. And the dude coming up behind him, his name is Arch Manning. He has a lot of hype to his name. I know people have heard about him. Arch Manning coming out of New Orleans, Louisiana, 6'4", 225-pound quarterback. He's a freshman. Well, he's not really a freshman for real, but this is his freshman season because he redshirted last year. Last year, I'll read off some of his stats because he barely got in. I mean, he only had 2 completions last year, didn't do it because, he was a redshirt. This year, he came in with partial time, 61 completions, 90 attempts, had a 67 completion percentage, so those are really good numbers. Had 900 yards, slightly lower than 1,000 yards. 9 touchdowns, 2 interceptions. Now look, you don't got to be a rocket scientist to know that 9 touchdowns and 2 interceptions, that ratio is crazy. That's literally like 9 times, not 81%. So he has let me just go and do the math for y'all guys. I'm going to tell y'all the percentage because it is reverse percentages. So he'll throw 4.5 touchdowns for every 1 interception. So I think that's good numbers. I mean, he could literally start at Texas now. A lot of the moments this year I was believing that he should have played more. They should have utilized him a lot more. And if Quinn doesn't leave, then he's going to leave. But everybody in Texas can tell you right now they believe in him as the next man up. Arch Manning's going to be the next man up. He's getting paid a lot, so he's going to stay. I mean, his uncles is obviously Eli Manning and Peyton Manning, Hall of Fame quarterbacks. I mean, he's literally them, but he can run because his dad was a receiver or something like that. So basically, he has the speed, mobility, he has good decision making. He's tall, fast. I mean, he's the perfect prototype NFL quarterback, 6'4", 225 pounds. He'll see over the line. He'll be a dog. This year, he was a dog. I mean, when he came inside the game, he wasn't messing up. He was doing everything he could. Arch Manning is very interesting tape because everybody's saying, like, people will be watching the game. They'll be like, put Archie in, but they're trying to believe in Quinn. And Quinn is him, but when you're not healthy, bro, you got to sometimes go with the next guy. And that's what they need to do in this situation, bring Arch in. If Quinn plays this game, in the entirety of the game, I don't think they will beat Ohio State. If Arch comes in the game, they have a higher odds of coming in just because he can run and be more mobile. But this would be a high-pressure situation for Arch because he's never played in this level of a game before. This level of a game is just different. This is like this is to get to the national championship. So it's high stakes. And honestly, whoever wins this game is probably going to win the Natty. So they need to treat this game like it's a national championship. So if Arch come in and can win the game somehow, he'll go down as a Texas legend forever. He'll be probably the best quarterback ever to touch Texas if he come in and dominate. But if they rock out with Quinn, Quinn's going to have to be locked in, and hopefully that his ankle is good. But in my opinion, I think that Will Howard's going to get the best of them and they're going to win. But comment down below and let me know who you think is going to win this game. Which quarterback is better out of Quinn and Arch Manning? Because honestly, I really don't know. Quinn Ewers is a great quarterback. Arch is a great quarterback. Let me know. Comment down below who you think should be starting in this next game and who you think will win the next game. Make sure you like, comment, subscribe, stay tuned for the next video. Peace.